Few cities on earth have been fought over, destroyed, rebuilt, and fought over again as many times as Jerusalem. For more than 4,000 years, this small hilltop city has stood at the center of faith, politics, war, and prophecy. Empires have risen and fallen trying to control it. Kings believed ruling it gave them divine authority. Prophets warned its destruction would shake the world. Three great religions call it holy, and yet, despite countless invasions, sieges, massacres, and reconstructions, Jerusalem still stands. This is the incredible story of the city that refuses to die. Quick pause for a moment. If you're enjoying this deep dive into ancient history, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. It helps the channel more than you might think, and it allows us to keep producing documentaries like this one. Now let's return to the story of Jerusalem. Long before Jerusalem became famous, it was nothing more than a small settlement. Around 3000 BC, the city was known as Salem or Jebus. It was controlled by the Jebusites, a Canaanite tribe living in the hill country between the Mediterranean Sea and the Dead Sea. The location may seem unimportant today, but it had one priceless advantage: water. The city was supplied by a powerful natural spring called the Gihon Spring. This spring made life possible on the otherwise dry ridge. Still, the settlement remained small, a fortified town of perhaps a few thousand people. For centuries, it was simply one of many small Canaanite cities scattered across the region. That was about to change. Around 1000 BC, a rising Israelite king named David made a bold decision. He marched his army against the fortified Jebusite city. The city was considered nearly impossible to conquer, yet David's forces found a way in. They captured the city and renamed it Jerusalem. Why choose this small hilltop town as the capital? Because it belonged to none of the 12 tribes of Israel. That made it politically neutral. It would unite the tribes instead of favoring one over another. David then brought the most sacred object in Israelite religion to the city, the Ark of the Covenant. From that moment forward, Jerusalem was no longer just a capital. It became the spiritual heart of Israel. David's son Solomon inherited the throne. He envisioned something extraordinary: a grand temple dedicated to the God of Israel. Construction began around 957 BC on Mount Moriah. The project took 7 years. Materials came from across the ancient world: cedar wood from Lebanon, gold imported from distant lands, skilled craftsmen sent by the Phoenician king Hiram I. The temple became the center of Jewish worship. Inside its innermost chamber, the Holy of Holies, the Ark of the Covenant was placed. Jerusalem was transformed from a small hilltop fortress into the capital of a powerful kingdom. At its peak, the city may have held 25,000 inhabitants, a large population for the ancient world. Merchants arrived from distant lands like Sheba. Diplomats came from Egypt. Jerusalem had become a royal and religious center, but its golden age would not last. After Solomon's death, his son Rehoboam took the throne, but he ruled poorly. Heavy taxes angered the people. The northern tribes rebelled. The kingdom split into two rival states: Israel in the north, Judah in the south. Jerusalem remained the capital of Judah, but it was now a smaller, weaker kingdom. The era of unity was over. In 722 BC, the powerful Assyrian Empire destroyed the northern kingdom of Israel. The 10 tribes were scattered across the empire. Refugees fled south to Jerusalem. The city suddenly grew crowded. King Hezekiah prepared for war. He strengthened the city walls, and he ordered the digging of a remarkable engineering project, the Hezekiah's Tunnel, to bring water safely inside the city during a siege. The preparations proved necessary. In 701 BC, The Assyrian king Sennacherib arrived with a massive army. Jerusalem was surrounded. Defeat seemed inevitable. But then something strange happened. A mysterious plague swept through the Assyrian camp. Thousands of soldiers died overnight. Sennacherib withdrew. Jerusalem survived. Many believed it was a miracle, but the city's troubles were far from over. A new superpower rose in the east, the Neo-Babylonian Empire. In 588 BC, the Babylonian king Nebuchadnezzar II marched on Jerusalem. His army surrounded the city. The siege lasted nearly 2 years. Food ran out. Disease spread. People starved in the streets. Despite warnings from the prophet Jeremiah, the king of Judah, Zedekiah, refused to surrender. In July 586 BC, the walls were finally breached. Babylonian troops flooded into the city. The temple was burned, the palace destroyed. Jerusalem was reduced to ruins. The Ark of the Covenant disappeared and has never been seen again. Thousands of survivors were marched into exile in Babylon. This event became known as the Babylonian exile. It remains one of the most traumatic moments in Jewish history. For decades, Jerusalem lay abandoned. Then history changed again. In 539 BC, the Persian ruler Cyrus the Great conquered Babylon. Unlike previous conquerors, Cyrus allowed exiled peoples to return home. He issued a decree allowing the Jews to rebuild their temple. Many returned. Others stayed in Babylon. But hope had returned to Jerusalem. In 516 BC, the Second Temple was completed. The city had risen from the ashes. In 332 BC, the unstoppable army of Alexander the Great swept through the region. Jerusalem surrendered peacefully. Greek culture spread throughout the city. Gymnasiums appeared. Greek philosophy and language spread. Some Jews embraced Hellenistic culture. Others resisted fiercely. Conflict exploded when the Seleucid ruler Antiochus IV Epiphanes banned Jewish religious practices. He even sacrificed a pig in the temple. This sparked a rebellion led by the priest Mattathias and his son Judah Maccabee. In 164 BC, the rebels recaptured Jerusalem and purified the temple. The rededication of the temple became the Jewish festival of Hanukkah. For the first time in centuries, Jews ruled Jerusalem independently again. Internal power struggles weakened the kingdom. Two rival rulers invited Rome to intervene. It was a fatal mistake. In 63 BC, the Roman general Pompey marched into Jerusalem. After a brutal siege, he captured the city. Jerusalem became part of the Roman Republic. Rome would dominate the city for centuries. During Roman rule, a controversial Jewish preacher arrived in Jerusalem. His name was Jesus Christ. Around AD 30, during the Passover festival, Roman authorities arrested him. The Roman governor, Pontius Pilate, ordered his execution. Jesus was crucified outside the city walls at Golgotha. His followers soon proclaimed that he had risen from the dead. A new religion, Christianity, began spreading across the empire. Jerusalem would become its holiest city. Jewish resentment against Roman rule exploded in AD 66. A massive revolt began. Rome responded with overwhelming force. In AD 70, the Roman general Titus laid siege to Jerusalem. After 5 months, Roman soldiers stormed the city. The Second Temple was destroyed. Over 1 million people may have died. Jerusalem was devastated once again. In the 4th century, everything changed again. The Roman Emperor Constantine the Great converted to Christianity. His mother Helena visited Jerusalem and identified sites connected to Jesus. Constantine built the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Jerusalem became the center of Christian pilgrimage. Thousands of pilgrims traveled there each year. In 638 AD, Muslim armies captured the city. The Caliph Umar ibn al-Khattab personally accepted Jerusalem's surrender. Christians and Jews were allowed to remain. In 691, the Umayyad Caliph Abd al-Malik built the stunning Dome of the Rock. Jerusalem now held sacred sites for three religions. In 1095, Pope Urban II called for a crusade. Christian armies marched east. In 1099, Crusaders captured Jerusalem. A horrific massacre followed. Muslims, Jews, and even Eastern Christians were killed. The Crusaders established the Kingdom of Jerusalem, but their rule would not last. In 1187, the Muslim leader Saladin defeated the Crusaders. He recaptured Jerusalem. Unlike the Crusaders, Saladin allowed Christian pilgrims to continue visiting the city. In 1517, Jerusalem became part of the Ottoman Empire. The great Sultan Suleiman the Magnificent rebuilt the city walls in 1537. These walls still stand today. For 400 years, Jerusalem remained a quiet provincial town, sacred but politically unimportant. In 1917, British forces led by Edmund Allenby captured Jerusalem. The British Mandate began. Tensions grew between Jews and Arabs. In 1948, the State of Israel was created. Jerusalem was divided. In 1967, during the Six-Day War, Israel captured East Jerusalem. The city was reunited under Israeli control. But the conflict continues. Both Israelis and Palestinians claim Jerusalem as their capital. For more than 4,000 years, Jerusalem has endured. It has been destroyed at least twice, besieged dozens of times, captured more than 40 times. Yet it still stands. Babylonians, Romans, Crusaders, Ottomans, empires came and went, but Jerusalem survived them all. It remains sacred, it remains contested, and it remains one of the most powerful cities in human history. Jerusalem, the city that refuses to die. Thank you for watching this documentary on the incredible history of Jerusalem. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more deep explorations of ancient civilizations, biblical mysteries, and historical empires, be sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos. And if this story fascinated you, you'll definitely want to watch the next video on your screen, where we explore another powerful mystery from ancient history. Until next time, thank you for watching.